want to start fashion? Because
I do want to start fashion because you look so great together. Christine, your gown.
Tony Ward Couture. Thank you.
And your tuxedo, sir?
She picked Brioni for me.
Very nice.
All right. So, Kevin, season finale of 1883 is tonight. I mean, are you surprised by like all the spin-offs, all the success of Yellowstone? Did you know it would be a hit as soon as you signed on?
I knew Yellowstone had a chance to be good because on paper it was good.
Yeah.
And it's kind of how I pick all the projects I do. So I'm not surprised that it's turned out well. What you never can predict is some kind of runaway experience that kind of, seems to, just blow up.
But it really blew up, I think, over like lockdown and the pandemic. I felt like everyone started watching Yellowstone.
Well, you can kind of in retrospect try to figure out how it happened, why it happened, but I think the characters are, in certain instances, for instance, Beth is saying things that a lot of women would like to say to people, and traditionally in movies, what make movies something that we never forget is when a man says something in a critical time where you think, geez, I wish I would have said that. And when movies are working at their best, they're having those kind of lines come out, and if you take what's going on with that kind of dialogue and you set it against mountains and rivers and valleys and horses running, then I think in a pandemic maybe people thought I like kind of breathing in that air.
Right. I also think the sense of loyalty is really key to the show.
Well, it is, and it's so keen in its loyalty that it's a dysfunctional family. It's pretty heightened drama. I mean, my family is a little bit. You know what we are, but I think there's if you take away the heightened moments of what Yellowstone is about, I think if you boil it down, I think people somehow intuitively know that this way of life of people getting up before the sun comes out, getting on horse and raising cattle, it's still a way of life. I mean, it's a cliche. We think of the black hat, white hat of cowboy films, but this is a way of life that is really still going on in America.
And you have a ranch, right? You've had a ranch for years?
Right. We have a very modest ranch. We wouldn't even think of it as a ranch, but instead of a bunch of cows, we have a bunch of people come, bring their children, and experience what it's like to be outside.
I love that. And so you're a father. I mean, you're on a ranch. Like, how has your own life inspired pieces from Yellowstone?
How's it in what?
How has your own life inspired pieces from Yellowstone? Like, have you brought your own life into the character or?
Well, I remember I was 7 years old and I came down to see a movie in Sunset, and at the Cinerama Dome, and it was called How the West Was Won. It's a little birthday party I was invited to, and I remember I sat in the seat, and I remember it so clearly because my feet wouldn't hit the ground, so they stuck straight out, and it was also 4 hours long, which is no surprise why my movies run long. And I remember, people thought, well, children won't pay attention. I was 7 years old and I never moved, and the movie was 4 hours. And I thought, I want to do that.
Nice. What's the first role that got you your SAG card?
I whispered the line, "Goodnight, Francis," and it happened to somebody that went on to production design my movies, Ida Random, and it was just, she just plucked me out. I was played the little part of William Holden in a play Golden Boy, and I wanted so desperately to get my SAG card. It took me 6 years before I ever got one. People used to say, well, just do a commercial, and I thought, well, they're not that easy to do, and then I really wasn't very good at it. I remember I tried something like saying that's as good toothpaste, and they said, could you say it? Could you be more excited about it? I said, it's really good toothpaste. And I thought that should have done it, but it obviously, it didn't do it. And so I said, "Goodnight, Francis," and I'll never forget Ida for putting me forth because it changed the trajectory of my career.
Have you seen Faith and Tim here tonight?
Yeah, no.
Are they here?
He texted me that we were going to probably be sitting at the same table. So,
I love that.
yeah.
Make it a double date, right?
He wanted me to remind him which fork
Which one to use? Yeah. Which goes for salad and what's
Well, you know that. You're like the manners guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
I was like, wouldn't mind you up right over it going. This would help. It would help some embarrassment.
Thank you for watching. If you want more extra, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you'll never miss a video.